Thank you very much. Let's give a warm round of applause to Kate and Mac for sharing their stories. It was really special. I wanted to say good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here today. Now, how many of us are here that are parents of children with cystic fibrosis? In my view, a parent's highest duty and greatest obligation to their children is ensuring their health and safety. As a mom, I am their protector. And perhaps like many of us here, there have been various points in my life where my role as a parent and that obligation to safeguard my children has been challenged. Take, for example, 13 years ago, when I traveled weekly for work and the TSA detained me on one of my trips for transporting my breast milk for my infant child. Without being able to travel with my milk, it compromised my ability to feed my infant child. So we challenged the TSA, and after a long legal battle, the TSA training manual was rewritten, and all TSA employees were retrained on the proper handling of breast milk for all traveling parents. Thank you. And 10 years ago, we moved to Hermosa Beach. It is the cutest 1.3 square mile coastal town in California. And right after we moved to Hermosa Beach, an oil company placed a measure on the ballot to drill 34 oil wells right in the middle of our city. I had 2 little ones at the time, and I wasn't an oil and gas expert, still not, but I knew this wasn't going to be safe or healthy for my children or for my community. So I helped lead the campaign to defeat the oil company, forever protecting our town from the health and safety risks associated with oil drilling. 8 years ago, life threw us a curveball when our youngest, Mossy, was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. I suddenly felt helpless in my most important obligation as his parent. There was no one to take to court on this one, no one to hash it out with at the ballot. This mom that was knee-deep in local politics, that was trained to handle any kind of situation that could possibly come up, could not fix this one. I felt like I was failing at his job of being his mom. Our community reached out to offer support. There was an army of friends and family that reached out. They wanted to help, but I didn't know how they could. And it was right before Mossy's first birthday when our social worker at UCLA reminded us that efforts to raise money for the foundation meant money going towards research and development for life-changing medications and ultimately the cure. So, naturally, we searched for local CF fundraisers and came across California Wine Masters, founded by the lovely Balick family. I remember thinking, wait, we get to drink great wine and it raises money for the foundation, like home run. We knew that we had found a fundraising effort that we could support, and perhaps equally important, that our friends and family also felt like they could support as well. So we embarked on a collaborative effort to grow the event beyond those that had been attending California Wine Masters for many, many years, to bring in that next generation of California Wine Master friends so that we could sustain and then grow the event so it was sustainable for many years to come. And I'm very proud to say that to date, California Wine Masters has raised more than $34 million for the foundation. And while we all know that fundraising events are so incredibly important to the foundation to deliver on its mission, I still felt like I needed to do more. You probably all know that federal funding for research and development for life-changing medications and support for access to affordable health care are also extremely vital to the foundation's efforts and all of our loved ones with CF. In my time on City Council, I developed relationships with some of our Congress members. And while I know that they care deeply about issues all their constituents face, having a personal connection with them, and being able to share our story about Mossy, it hit differently. I felt their empathy when we met. They understood what we were going through, and it underscored the importance of the decisions that they make and the impact they have. I've now participated in quite a few. I was trying to count up. I couldn't remember how many, 4-ish March on the Hill events. We just got back 2 weeks ago from DC, and I know I see some, have you, raise your hand if you've been on a March on the Hill event. There's a lot of us. Good job, guys. I'm sure you guys would all agree that the days are long, and if you wear the wrong shoes, they feel even longer, but the efforts are so, so worth it. But you don't need to travel to DC or host a huge event to make a difference. Even small acts make an important impact. Signing up for the Foundation's advocacy alerts is an easy way to lend your voice to the growing number of passionate advocates we have all over the country. In fact, I know we all have our phones here because I see some of you guys checking them every now and again. Why don't we grab them? Grab your phones. David's grabbing his phone. Good job. And let's sign up for advocacy alerts right now. We text FIGHT-CF to 96387. So 96387, and you text FIGHT-CF. Come see me later if you need help with that. Happy to help. But before I go, I wanted to share that CF family and friends are some of the strongest, most positive, and hopeful people I have ever had the fortune of knowing. They're fundraisers, they're advocates, they're change makers. They are you. You are the ones paving the path, stone by stone, directly to the cure. Know that your efforts are making a difference for everyone living with cystic fibrosis. And to my earlier point, that I felt like I was failing in my job as Mossy's mom, as I look around this room right now, I don't feel that way anymore, because together, we are their protectors. Until it's done. Thank you.